You are listening to Thanks We Hate It. I am Mickey Atkins.
And I'm Hannah Lehman.
You're listening to episode 11.
It's 11.
We made it. I'm so excited. How are you feeling today?
I'm doing good. I have a tequila sunrise here.
Oh.
Just kidding. It's tequila and orange juice.
Saucy. I love that for you. I was wondering if you were just drinking orange juice.
It has some spindrift in it as well.
Yum. I feel like cocktails are just not as good if they don't have a bubbly component to them, you know?
Same. I love adding spindrift or sparkling water to to everything.
Even if it's just straight up club soda. Like, I just want bubbles in there, you know? Because it makes it feel like it's a real cocktail then.
Exactly. And it's just, it makes it fancier. I'm drinking tequila and I had Nutella and graham crackers for dinner. So
girl
I don't
dinner.
know how you're doing, but that's how I'm doing.
Are you on girl dinner TikTok?
No. What is that?
It's a trend right now on TikTok of people. There's the sound that says, "This is what I call girl dinner," and then there's a little song that goes "girl dinner," and it's just women showing their dinner, and it's like that, where like when you eat graham crackers and Nutella, or like a handful of cheese and some yogurt, and like a bunch of saltines, and like just disconnected random food items.
Dinner?
Because it's apparently a universal experience that we all share sometimes. It's just like this struggle dinner, you know.
I think struggle dinner is a good word for it. Do you ever get like? I have phases where I just like, I don't want anything. I literally I do not want anything. I already don't like cooking. And the thought of eating, even if I could have a gourmet meal, the thought of eating it, like, I don't want it.
Yes.
I don't want that.
100%.
And so I made chocolate chip pancakes for breakfast, and I ate them with butter and whipped cream.
Yum.
And then I had a burrito for lunch. I did good. Mm-hmm. And then for dinner, I just had Nutella crackers, and now I'm drinking orange juice. It's been a very sugary day. So my take on that is like, well, you know what? I'm going to just eat whatever I feel like eating because it's better than not eating anything and then crashing.
100%.
Like, I want to eat something. Yeah. But like, I have those times I cannot, like, everything I look at, I'm like, that's gross.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel that.
I don't want that.
It's almost like the absence of a hyperfixation, which happens to me from time to time, particularly because I go through phases where I'm hyperfixated on food. So like, I will have like a safe food that like is the thing. Like right now it's pot pies. I eat pot pies with cottage cheese. Don't fucking judge me in the comments. Everybody can eat my ass. I know that it's weird.
What are you talking
I don't give
about?
a fuck.
That sounds so good.
Thank you, Hannah. Thank you.
Have you cottage cheese makes a great pancake mix to add protein to your pancakes. It makes your pancakes so fluffy.
It's also just like a great dairy to have on hand because it's like it's creamy, it's cool, it's nice to eat during the summertime. It goes great with fruit. It goes great as a side for things. It's a nice
it could
way.
Be savory. It could be sweet.
Yes, if I'm having a struggle day, it's a nice way for me to be like, just eat a few spoonfuls of this because your body needs protein and fat and like foods to exist and to run. Like, feed your brain, bitch. Eat a few fucking spoonfuls of cottage cheese. Goddamn. So it's like a nice, like,
I just don't understand why anybody would think that's weird. Cottage cheese pot pie sounds amazing.
My friend came over to my house the other day, and I had just microwaved myself a pot pie, and I plopped some cottage cheese on it because also the thing about pot pies is that right after you get them out of the microwave, they're fucking burning hot inside. Yes. So if you put cottage cheese on it, it cools it down to a nice eatable temperature. So I plopped cottage cheese on top of it, and she was like, "Ew, what are you doing?" And I was like, "The fuck do you mean? What am I doing? I'm eating my food." But like,
would your friend have thought it was weird if you put sour cream on it? No, I doubt it.
More than one person in my life has judged me for eating pot pies with cottage cheese, though. So I'm very defensive about it. I'm ready to post up. I'm ready to defend myself. But
you know what else is really good cottage cheese recipe that's really easy that I like doing is taking some cottage cheese, adding a little bit of olive oil, some garlic powder, some fresh garlic if you have it, and like any other like herbs that you have, a little salt, and then just like dipping crackers in it. And then it's like a dip.
So good. I feel like
then it's like a really proteiny dip, but it's like really,
I feel like
it's fantastic.
If you smeared some like roasted garlic or like garlic confit on a piece of toast and then dipped it in that would be fucking incredible. That sounds so good. I used to, growing up, my nana used to put, my grandma, she used to put cottage cheese in her guac sometimes because when we had family coming over, she was like, the acidity keeps it from going brown and like being disgusting. When we had family coming over for parties, she was like, it's going to sit out all day. So I don't want it to get gross. So she would mix cottage cheese in it. But it was really good. Yeah. Highly
it's also
recommend.
Just a really easy way to add like texture and protein to things.
Yes.
It's like
just yummy,
cottage
man.
cheese is like a power food. It's so it's so good for you. It's like,
I just like it. But yeah.
And it's also just tasty. Yeah. I'm not a huge fan of the cottage cheese with the fruit thing.
That's fair.
That doesn't tickle my fancy as much. But and I used to work in daycare where we would feed the babies cottage cheese and blueberries like all the time for breakfast, and I just couldn't handle it. But then sometimes the babies would get rice pudding for breakfast instead. That shit was amazing.
I have mixed emotions about rice pudding just because it's a texture thing, you know. Sometimes I really love it. And sometimes pudding. It's like I can't bear to eat it. I have a similar issue with
Cozy
eggs.
Shack rice
Cozy
pudding.
Shack?
It's a brand. Oh, you've probably seen it in the store. It's that yellow label.
Oh, interesting.
Rice pudding, yeah.
But yeah, I have a similar issue with eggs, like scrambled eggs.
Okay.
Sometimes I love them, and sometimes I'm like, I can't deal with that.
It.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was what I ate for dinner.
I love that.
Okay, I need help from you or our subscribers or whomever.
Fun.
So I moved into this new townhouse. Are you scared of spiders? Okay.
Of course.
I'm having a spider infestation. I am having sort of like, so, and people are going to think that I'm getting dozens of spiders in my door. No, a spider infestation for me is having, if you see a spider every day in your home, that's an infestation for me. And so it started out, I had a really little one. I can handle the little ones. And I have, I got this thing off of Amazon that has saved my life many a times. It's this little grabber thingy. It's not the grabber with the claw that gently pulls the spider out that you've seen those infomercials for. It's got a handle and you put it, and then a little box at the end, and you put it over the bug, and then it has a thing that you push a lever to slide something underneath the bug, so you don't have to put your hand so close, like trying to get the paper, finagle the paper under and stuff, and being afraid they're gonna crawl out under the side. This thing is amazing. I use it all the time. I love it. I don't like that there's a magnifying glass on top of it because it's kind of made for kids to catch bugs outside to examine them. But then this spider that's like this big suddenly looks this big in the mic. But either way, this thing has saved me countless times because I don't have to get close to them. It's a very good way to trap them. But I've had a couple small ones. I had one playing dead the other day, and I picked it up thinking it was dead. I picked it up in a tissue to throw it
and then it
away,
moving.
And it came to life like some sort of bionic creepy sci-fi Black Mirror creature.
Great.
And I said out loud to myself when it came to life, I was back to life. I was like, I knew it. And I went to go get my my catcher thing, and it was playing dead again, and it was like, no, I'm dead, it's okay, I'm just dead here.
What the hell? That's so weird.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. They do it so that birds don't want a dead spider, right? Like it's a defense mechanism. Or I read that some species of spiders, male spiders, do it to mate. It's as a mating ritual. I don't know. It's weird. Male spiders also go into female webs, and once they mate, they get eaten, and the female eats them. So, spiders are weird. So the spiders that I keep getting, they seem to be getting bigger, because the one I got today was not like one of the big ones you get in the house, but it was definitely bigger than all the other ones. I had one on the mirror in my bedroom the other. Oh my God. So I'm concerned. I realized that I have a fireplace now, and I've never had a fireplace before. It's a wood-burning fireplace, and I realized that there's something called a damper on it. And for those of you that have never had a fireplace, there's a vent at the top so that if you have a fire in there, the smoke won't fill up your place, right? So you can close this thing that goes up the chimney when you're not using the fire. And this thing was wide fucking open. So I was like, well, that, because I was texting my mom, of course. I was like, so many spiders. And she was like, did you make sure that your damper was closed on your fireplace? And I was like,
no.
Yes, Mom, the 32-year-old woman knows to check. No, I was like, no. So I go and check, and sure enough, it's open. And I'm like wondering if that's how they've been getting in, because that's a direct hole into your house. But like, it's closed now. But you guys, if anybody has any tips, like, if anybody has like preventative measures, I have a grabber thing. I try not to kill them. I accidentally killed the bigger one today, not on purpose. I was trying to get him in the grabber thingy, and he just went right under the side. He just squished himself. And but if anybody has any tips, I know people say like peppermint oil, like they spray peppermint oil. That is complete and utter BS. That does not work. I've done that many times. Spiders, that is a myth.
Interesting.
That is an urban legend. I am so worked up. Sorry. I'm just...
I can see. Honestly, I get it though, because I'm the same way.
Scary.
Spiders scare me slightly less, if only because they're little. The bug that like does that to me is roaches. I can't deal with it. And like on a biannual basis, the city will spray the manhole covers for the sewer to like, I don't know, do something to them. And so when they do that, then usually there's, I'll see them like on the street, just like roaming about. It's disgusting. It creeps me the fuck out.
They got disturbed.
Yes. Yeah. So I feel that. The only like advice that I have to give you is something that would actively harm the spiders. And so I don't know if it's like a tack that you want to take, but there's something called diatomaceous earth that a lot of people use for pest control because it's pet safe. It won't harm like dogs or cats. Yeah, it's so diatomaceous earth is literally like fucking fossils that have been ground up into a powder, from my understanding, and it's not harmful to you or I. Like, don't put it in your fucking eyes, obviously. Like, don't inhale it. You know,
don't
like
snort it.
Yeah. But basically, what it is just tiny little shards of really, really sharp pieces of like silica, I think. And so you put it around your entryway, and so any bugs that have an exoskeleton or that are like it shreds them, so they dehydrate and they die, which is just fucking awful. But like people use it a lot for pest control in gardens and stuff, because it keeps bugs from like infesting your plants and killing your stuff, and it also keeps things like roaches out of your house. I don't know if it would work on spiders or not, but like if you're really going through it, you could just put some diatomaceous earth in your fireplace, and then anything that crosses that threshold, it won't die immediately, but it will eventually fucking die. Yeah.
Is like, will at least kill it quickly?
No.
Or do they suffer a slow, painful death?
Yeah, that one. So I know it's not.
I feel like if we were in the good place, we would get red points. Negative points 100%, for that one.
Which, like, for keeping roaches out of my house, I'm fine with. Like, I will take those negative points, you know?
No judgment.
But the other thing you could do too is try to figure out if there are like other bugs, because like that's the thing with spiders, right? Is that like if you have spiders, it's because they're killing like, I don't know what the fuck spiders eat, like little crickets or like little, you know, little tiny bugs. And so I'm assuming if you treat whatever, if you get rid of whatever they're preying on, then spiders would go away. So
this place definitely, like, they put new screens in the windows at some point, but the screens do not fit the windows. There's like little gaps in between all of them. So right now all the windows have been closed because I've had the air conditioner on up here, and the air conditioner, I block any holes with I have window tape and stuff. But I just the other thing I have is I have this like Raid spray that is chemically, and it is like obviously bad for pets, but you could spray, and I spray it outside in the doorway, you know, like just smart. The doorways and stuff. And then I try not to let Winnie near it unless it's dried for a few hours. But I'm not sure if that's helping or not. So I don't know if anybody has any good tips for me, or if like I will throw as much money at this as needed if it's something that will actually work.
Yeah,
I've heard of like coworkers having actual professionals come and spray the sides, but I just don't know how plausible that is when I'm in a townhouse with like neighbors and I don't have a house.
Yeah, that's fair.
Or if I'm even allowed to do that and stuff. So I don't know if anybody has any tips. I would be forever grateful, as long as it's not any essential oil, because I've tried that.
Fair enough.
It doesn't do anything. So
I hear that.
other than make my house smell like peppermint, and probably not good for Winnie, because
it can actually be dangerous to pets.
Right. It's actually really not good to spray that much essential oil around. So okay, that's all I got for Chit Chat. Do you got anything?
Mostly I'm just hungover. I told you before we started recording, we went to the lake yesterday and I had a really great day. It was a very fun time.
Yeah.
But
did you go swimming?
Yes, I did. I had so much fun, but I am so sunburnt. Not so sunburnt. You
are? You don't look sunburnt.
Oh, okay, good. Because my face is quite red in person and I don't wear makeup. So I was like, well, the fucking jig is up. Like, I'm just going to look like I'm sunburnt. But my back got it pretty bad. So, and also, fun fact, I am allergic to aloe vera, which is the thing that people put on sunburns. So
you are not allergic to aloe vera. What?
Sure am. Yep.
I am so sorry.
Yeah.
Like you get a rash.
Yeah. So that's not helpful to me. But I've been putting calamine lotion on it, and that's helping. But thankfully, because I have like some melanin, bless up to my ancestors, my sunburns turn into a tan like sort of quickly. And I don't normally burn anyways, but I'm going through it today. I'm just hungover and I have a headache. I almost told you like I don't want to record today because I was like I have to drive to my office, but I was like no, we'll just do it. It'll be fine. It'll be okay. So
yeah, and then we don't have to do it on Friday.
Yes, I've also been pounding water today, and that's been helping a lot.
Good
so
job.
that's
if only you liked Liquid IV, because they don't advertise this, but one of their things, people say that it does help with hangovers.
Normally I will drink Pedialyte too, but we're all out because the last time Aaron and I got violently hungover, we drank it all. So but yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry you're not feeling well.
That's okay.
At least it was from something fun.
It was for a good cause, and I'll feel better tomorrow.
Was it just you guys, or did you meet friends
at
the lake?
Yeah, we went with like another couple friend, and rented a boat and just did some swimming and stuff. Yeah, it was really fun. It was a good day.
I should learn how to swim.
You don't know how to swim?
No.
Did you just never learn, or you don't like it, or
all of the above?
Okay, I'm only reacting this way to be clear because you're like the third.
That's everybody reacts like that.
You're the third person in like 24 hours to tell me that they can't swim, and I'm like, is it everyone now? Like, do a lot more people not know how to swim than I think? Because it seems to be, it seems to be an issue for a lot of people. That is so interesting.
When I was doing swimming lessons as a kid, my mom did try to get me into swimming lessons because for obvious reasons. Why do I need to explain why my mom put me in swimming lessons? Yeah. That goes without saying. And I was pretty young, and my sister was a fish. Aww. She was like, yeah, this is where I belong. Yeah. She's like, I'm a mermaid, right?
That's so cute.
Got it. It clicked with her. She did great. Wasn't scared. For me, the instructor made me jump in the deep end, and I was not ready. I did not want to go in the deep end.
That's so mean.
And he was waiting there to catch me, but I was like, you're not going to catch me. And he's like, yes, I will. And he told me he was going to. But of course, their whole thing is not to, because they want you to swim, because they want you to, like, for your natural instincts to kick over. So it's not like he let me flail, but he was trying to get me to swim, and I freaked out. And after that, I refused.
That's valid, I was like, nope, Hannah.
I'm done.
That's legitimately traumatizing.
Before swimming lessons, way before that, though, like I already had a bad relationship with the water because we were at a hotel when my mom could tell me how old I was. I was young. I was under 5.
Little.
And I would swim with noodles, the the floaty noodles.
Yeah.
And I had 2. And I was dog paddling around, you know, with my noodles when I was this little kid. And my parents are both watching me from the side of the pool. And I lost 1 noodle. And my parents were like, oh, no. And they were watching me. They were like, is she going to get it? Is she going to get it? She lost the other noodle. Both the noodles.
Oh, no.
I was very little.
Oh, no.
And I did. I remember this. I have a memory of just going under the water. My dad had to jump in. My dad used to be a lifeguard when he was younger. He jumped in all of his clothes and had to scoop me out of this pool because I was like,
you're just
flailing. Yes, into the abyss. I just remember just like trying to get the side. I think I was close enough to the side that I probably would have been able to grab the side.
Sure.
But my mom was like, go get her. Yeah, I was way too little. So it just like probably didn't help then for the instructor to try to get me to do that. So I just never learned after that. So I mean
you know,
I'll go in the shallow section of a pool, but I won't go in the deep end if I'm by myself, because that's just very dangerous. Well, but I mean, I could swim from one side of the pool to the other. Like I can move in the water. I can doggy paddle. I could technically get from one side to the other, but I can't tread water.
Interesting. Yeah.
I cannot tread water.
Comfy.
I don't understand how people do that. It does not. It does not seem possible.
That's so traumatic, Hannah. I'm so sorry. Like, that's not cool at all.
But it's really bad. I've thought a million times about getting swim like I need to go because I have the bunny now where I could get private swim lessons with just me and an instructor.
That's true.
And I've just been procrastinating on it. I just don't swim that much. So like, you know, I'll go in a jacuzzi, but I don't go. I would never go in a lake though and swim. This is also the person who went to Croatia.
Yeah.
I went to Croatia, one of the most beautiful countries in the world. Dubrovnik is the area I was in, and we went kayaking through the ocean of Croatia, the bluest, most beautiful water, and went to the caves and saw all this stuff. And I was with my friend Zach, and he was sharing a boat with me because he knew I was nervous.
Yeah.
And hours, we went all the way across to go get lunch, then came all the way back and swam in the blah, 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 blah.
Okay.
Beautiful. Came back. Zach was behind me, and he was like, so how'd you like it? I was like, I hated it. He was like, what? I was like, this was not fun at all. I should have stayed home and went shopping. I don't understand why my arms hurt. I was sweating from head to toe. My skin's all dry from being salty. And then you're just 2 feet away from the abyss.
Yeah,
from
I don't like that.
Ocean.
I don't like that at all.
Why do people like water?
Listen, I love the water. I love swimming. Like I literally told Aaron this yesterday. There's something so oddly spiritual to me about just like being in a body of water and like floating around. I love it.
Yeah.
But 2 things. First of all, I think I have an advantage in terms of treading water and floating because I have giant yitties. So they act as like a life support. I'm not even joking. I literally realized this yesterday. I was like, I think I'm floating just because my boobs keep me afloat. So
you have built-in flotation device.
Yes, literally. But also like the actual open ocean, like ocean water, pass. Absolutely fucking not. If I can't see what's good, like the lake is sort of an exception because I'm like, whatever, like it's a lake, right? Like there's probably some gooky stuff down there. There's probably like obviously fish and like
you
whatever.
Don't worry about brain-eating amoebas?
Like a little, I guess, but like also like, you know, if it's my time to go, it's my time to go. It's fine. I just don't want to die in
brain-eating amoebas scare the shit out of me.
Don't give me any new anxieties.
Okay, sorry.
But I don't want to die a painful and traumatic death being eaten alive by a fucking shark.
Yeah.
Or like look down and have the realization that there is a giant creature underneath me that even if it's like like not hostile towards me.
Right. Aggressive.
Even if it's like a kind creature, that it could still like accidentally drag me under the water or God forbid touch me. Like just no. I don't like it. I don't like that at all. So I'm with you. Even when I'm in the ocean with Aaron, he wants to like go swimming and just like do his thing. And I'm like, I'll stay at like near the shore as long as I could like reasonably swim my ass back to shore with like relative speed. Fine. But if we get to a place where I'm going to have to like swim and swim and swim to get back to safety, absolutely not.
Or riptides.
No.
Don't riptides in the ocean scare the crap out of you?
That's terrifying. That's
that
terrifying.
all of a sudden you could just get sucked away and like disoriented.
Yeah, I hate that. I hate that.
I'm going to the beach in a couple weeks too, and it's all I could think about. I'm so excited, but I don't go swimming in the ocean.
Yeah, just put your
Winnie,
feet in.
first of all, I have Winnie with me, and Winnie is not a water dog. Winnie will like freak out if I one time okay, I go to Canada Beach all the time. One time I went in one of the tide pools. I had Winnie on a leash. She was on a long leash. Nobody was forcing her to do anything. Okay. I just want to make that abundantly clear before anybody accuses me of being mean to my dog, because she was just like on a leash. She had plenty of land. She had 10 feet to stay away from this. Right. But I just stepped into a tide pool and she climbed in to try to save me.
Oh, she's anxious.
She was barking and she's terrified of water, and she climbed in to try to grab my ankle, and she was like, get out of there. Okay, this is a few inches of water.
I know. She was like, you're in danger.
Nobody was in danger. Yeah, but oh my God.
That's so
I can't really like go swimming anyway because I have her with me, but
that's
like I don't mess with the ocean.
Yeah, I feel that.
The ocean is unforgiving. The ocean does not care about you.
Yes, exactly.
Absolutely not.
I have a complicated relationship with large bodies of water because I really like them. I do. But I'm also
they're beautiful.
Terrified of them in some ways. I feel that.
I think the fear of them is part of what makes them so beautiful, though.
Yeah, that's true.
You know? Like, I don't think if we weren't scared of them at all, I don't think we would have that profound ness and that, like you said, that spirituality we have sitting on the beach and watching the ocean.
I appreciate
and just,
that.
You know, that's
a good point,
that
actually.
Appreciation for it. So
yeah. Well, that got deep really fast.
I'm with you. I know.
Do we want to get into our topics this week?
Yeah, let's get into it. Was there any updates on Colleen? There's always updates on Colleen Ballinger.
She's copywriting the fucking song now, or at least the song that Colleen wrote is now being copyright claimed. It's unclear, allegedly, who's doing it.
Who is copyright claiming it?
People are,
according
for sure.
to Colleen's lawyer, they have put out a statement saying that she has not made any money off of her apology video. She has not monetized it. She hasn't claimed anybody, but I'll believe that when I see.
Ethan showed a screenshot
proof
of the copyright claim that he received, so somebody copyright claimed it.
Right. That's the thing. It's like, who though? So maybe by the time this will comes out, we'll
know.
Swoop put out her second part.
Oh, really?
Her part 2 of the documentary series on Colleen, though. It just came out today. It just came out like a few hours ago.
Okay.
So yeah, I watched it, but it goes into she just goes into the apology video. Yeah. The thing I appreciate about Swoop, and I'm sure it's because she doesn't want to get copyright claimed, but I appreciate it, is that she warps the song quite a bit, so it doesn't sound like the song, so that you don't have to sit through. I cannot sit through that song again.
Yeah, it's too much.
So I have a really weird, bizarre topic. I love weird niche topics like this, where I love like little niche communities that nobody's heard of, but they have like the drama amongst themselves and everything. That is so like Water Talk, when we talked about Water Talk, exactly like that kind of stuff. Love that. So today I really want to talk about Reborn Dolls. Do you know what a Reborn Doll is?
Yes, I'm vaguely aware of them, but I can't say that I have like a lot of experience with Reborn Dolls.
For those that don't know who a Reborn Doll is, Reborn Dolls are, I think they're silicone typically, but they are extremely realistic baby dolls. So realistic that you have to look twice before realizing that it's not a real person. I'm hoping Aaron can insert some pictures of them for anybody watching on YouTube, so I will send some good examples to him of what we're talking about here. I've heard a lot of people, it creeps a lot of people out, which is fair, because it gives people kind of a Uncanny Valley feeling.
100%. Yeah.
Which is very fair.
That's me.
That's fine. I think they're adorable. I think they're really cute, personally.
Which is also super fair.
It's a little weird. I do get, and we'll talk about that, but There's an entire Reborn Doll community of collectors on TikTok and other social media, and they have some drams going down. That is just like, this is something nobody would ever hear of otherwise. So I want to talk about it today. Before we get into that, though, I do want to say that there is reasons for owning newborn dolls are all completely valid. Like, I've yet to see any, like, unethical reasons for owning one of these. Typically they are collectors. People make them themselves. The artists make them, and then people and then they sell them to people who collect them, much like collecting Legos or collecting Star Wars memorabilia. People are really into, you know, Star Wars stuff, collecting Funko Pops. Also
too, porcelain dolls. Like, people do that with other types of dolls also, you know.
People collect haunted dolls, so
and oddities and like all kinds of other people. If there's a thing, people probably collect it. So
very much right, that's true.
Yeah,
the whole point of these dolls in the first place, though, is them looking so realistic. I mean, these dolls look so realistic, not only in their face, but like their lips look shiny, like they have spit on their lips. They are weighted in a way that makes them feel like a newborn. Their heads are weighted in a way like every detail. Most artists, if you spend on the higher end, I mean, they're painting the shadows of their veins. They're like tiny hairs. Like, I mean,
the
it's
amount
amazing.
of time that would take someone, like, I think I would literally throw a tantrum about how long that would take. That's so intense.
Well, that's why they go for anywhere from $250 to $5,000. I think for the thousands of dollars for some of these. But like I said, the ones that have like veins on them that are so detailed and special.
Yeah, like hours and hours of work. I've watched
some unboxing of these videos before, like out of curiosity, and it does look, I mean, like I said, I personally think they're cute, and the way they box them up up like in this beautiful box, and they have them like wrapped in a baby blanket, like, and stickers and like a little note with it. Like, it is very cute. And the original intention for these was for therapy purposes because they're so realistic. It was really, really helpful for people with Alzheimer's or dementia in nursing homes. Patients that had that, they found that was very soothing for those patients. They could feel like they were getting interaction with, I mean, most people get nourishment from interacting with babies, you know, but that way they couldn't hurt the baby if they dropped it or forgot about it. The doll, it was a doll.
Fine.
It also helps people that have gone through miscarriages. If they're struggling with that, it has helped with the grieving process and getting closure for that. And so it does have purposes like that, but one of the bigger purposes is collection. And it's not just collecting, though. The same way that some people would collect Legos but then play with their Legos.
Of course.
The typically I'm gonna just refer to it as women doing this for the duration of this video, because I have not seen anybody who identifies as anything other than a woman partake in this. So I'm just going to refer to it, the women that are doing this.
That's fair.
So the women that are partaking in this, the reason there's a stigma around this from the outside point of view, why a lot of people think this is weird, which I understand. I try not to judge because it's like they're not hurting anybody. So I literally don't care. But like, there's role playing involved with these, like women that often don't have their own kids. They will literally pretend. They'll play out scenarios where these reborn dolls are their baby. Like, they'll rock it to sleep. They'll feed them.
So, question. The, like, role-playing situation. Is it, like... Because I guess I'm just curious about, like, to what degree people are immersing themselves in the role play. Like, these people are aware, obviously, that they're role-playing. It's not, like, tiptoeing into psychosis or, like, like delusion. It's, like... people who just genuinely enjoy the activity of role-playing and like use the dolls for that.
Correct.
Right? Okay.
It has nothing to do with mental illness.
Okay, great.
I'm sure somebody in it has, like, you know, that's just going to overlap.
Okay.
But it has nothing to do with mental illness. The vast majority of people that are doing this, they know that it's role play. They know the doll is not real.
Okay.
And
it's just like a fun pastime.
Yeah, it's a fun collector hobby. It's a hobby.
Okay.
It's like, you know, the way we would sit down and do a craft for a few hours, right?
Yeah.
They're like playing with their dolls. And also the interesting part is that it's bled over to TikTok where, you know, just like we watch Get Ready With Me's, we watch vlogs, we watch What I Do in a Day, that kind of stuff. They're recreating those kind of videos with their reborn. So they're like typical life in my reborn doll, like whatever the doll's name is.
Sure.
And, or they like play out certain scenarios and make like feeding my reborn doll or reborn doll does this, like as they're playing out a scenario and then making a video on it because other people interested in that like get joy out of watching those, just like we like watching people. Like, why do we like watching mundane vlogs some people, right?
Yeah.
You know,
or like
exactly
the organization ones and the restocking ones, like all of that. It's like a similar thing.
Exactly. Yes. So this article came out. So the vast majority of what I'm talking about today is thanks to a Cosmopolitan article that came out. And I actually, I got recommended a video on YouTube of somebody talking about this, and that's what led me to the Cosmopolitan article. Okay. I don't know if I have to be that credited, but I could link their video down below if you guys want.
Yeah.
So I basically like kind of going through this article. There is a seller of these reborn dolls called the Itsy Bitsy Little Nursery.
Okay.
She sells these, she makes them, and it was interesting, she originally got into this whole thing to heal a childhood trauma. She said she was didn't have a stable home and like went into the foster care system when I think she was like 5 or something like that.
Yeah.
So she never had somebody like consistently taking care of her, and getting these dolls really helped her feel like she was taking care of somebody and helping her get closure for that CPTSD, because she would then be able to like take care, like follow through with taking care of something else, which I thought was really cute and interesting.
That's interesting.
Her name is Kirsten.
Okay.
She has hundreds of thousands of followers on TikTok, and she does this reborn doll hobby. And she wakes up one day to find that everybody on TikTok is very, very mad at her. Like, people sending her messages of how ashamed she should be and how she's a terrible person. So everybody is mad because on one of her videos, she fed her reborn doll formula, which was real formula, and it was during a shortage of the formula.
Yeah.
The context that I don't think people knew about was that she had bought that formula years before, and she just had it left over in the house, according to her, and she was just using it up. I believe there was some reason she couldn't donate it. I think it was like expired or something like that. I think.
Fair.
But I believe that there was some sort of reason she couldn't donate it. So she was literally just like using it for the reborn dolls. But of course, people got very, very mad at her for doing this during a shortage, which I can understand. I mean, I don't know if that makes somebody a terrible person, but I think I can understand like the frustration with that.
Well, I think especially for people who like, if you are struggling to find formula for your baby and like are feeling, you know, like panic and fear about that, watching someone feed it to a doll on the internet and like not knowing the context that it was expired or like, you know, not usable or whatever, that's a very emotionally charged thing. Like, that's fair. I can understand why somebody might be kind of like responding in a way that's not their best self, because you're like, my kid might fucking, you know, go hungry and you're feeding it to a doll. Like, that sucks. So fair enough.
Exactly. But she had been exclusively using, so now she uses, after that formula was gone, she uses fabric softener because it has a very similar consistency and look to formula. So she was not using real formula after this. And I'm just going to pause here to say, we looked this up a while ago, but like, I'm sure people are very confused about like, are these dolls drinking this formula?
I'm confused.
I guess for me,
it.
I don't understand why you can't fill a bottle, even if it was real formula, say, fill the bottle with formula and then reuse the bottle over and over, because that's as far as my understanding is, most of these reborn, some of them have a feeding mechanism, but most of them do not actually have internal mechanisms to consume liquids.
No, it's like,
it's not like those dolls we had back when we were little girls that had that had the tube where it would like feed it water and then it would pee out of its diaper. Remember?
Yes, yeah. Well, that's what I was picturing, is that like surely there must just be like a mouth hole and then like a little escape valve or something that like the liquid just drains out of. But like I don't if they don't have like a little tube like those baby dolls did, like are you just holding a bottle up to its mouth and nothing is happening? Or like, because I'm with you, like why don't you just use a fabric softener bottle and like just use the same one? Like I don't get it. Where's it going?
Right.
I don't understand.
See, that's what I'm confused about, is why did she run out of this old formula she had? Is she dumping it after feeding it to a doll? Like, I don't understand that part. Maybe somebody listening is more familiar with the community or is in the community or knows somebody in the community that can explain that to us, because that part is very confusing to me. And like, I don't understand. Like, I can understand feeding it as part of the role play, but I don't understand why you would throw it out after using it if it was fabric softener.
The thing that I'm confused about, I guess, is that like, sure, okay, so even if you want to feed it real formula, like you were saying, does formula like go bad? Like I know obviously if you fucking leave it out, like don't feed it to a human baby, right? But like I don't have kids, so I don't know anything about formula, or like is it like actual dairy? Like does it go bad like a bottle of milk? I think it has, or like
I'm pretty sure it has some sort of, I don't think you should, I don't think it would be good.
Yeah,
like we said, if you were using fabric softener, maybe after that she does, maybe because she had to throw out the formula because it was like, but you'd think you could keep it for a few days and be fine. But I guess formula probably does have some sort of milk agent in it. It's a powder that you mix with. I know when I worked in the daycares, we had to throw out bottles after an hour if they came out of the fridge.
Sure. But still, again, like
baby drank it or
the
not,
fabric softener bottle, they could reuse over and over again because it's literally just fabric softener. That's fair.
Maybe she was. Okay, so then there's like other shortages going on, especially while COVID was happening.
Yes.
And then it's not just the formula. Then other women were doing role play videos using real wipes, like real baby wipes and real disposable diapers. And like there was like one video of somebody that I will spare you guys the video, but she like recreated a blowout for the baby, like as a role play. And if you guys don't know what a blowout is, like you're probably familiar with the blowout, right? It's exactly what it sounds like. Babies that aren't on solids, you could imagine their diapers are an explosion of fun. So somebody like recreated that with I don't know what they used for that, but then they're like using real disposable diapers, which is again like, why don't you use a cloth or a paper towel that you could use over and over and just pretend like it's you're role playing anyway? This is all make believe. So why use? I think it's the immersiveness of it, but still, like use a cloth diaper.
Yes.
Make a cloth diaper and use that.
Also, like, I don't know. I feel like the immersion thing is like valid to a certain extent, but like, again, you can buy a singular pack of diapers and just reuse those same ones over and over again. No? Or like you were saying, like a cloth diaper. Because like those are very much a thing that people use for real babies. So.
Right.
You know?
Because like, I mean, this just like not even the shortages. Like even if there wasn't shortages, it's still like just wasteful.
Yeah, it feels kind of fucked up. I won't lie. I don't know if I like that.
It feels like a little weird.
Much.
Yeah, maybe the vast majority of them. I want to give them the benefit of the doubt, though.
That's fair.
Because maybe the vast majority are reusing ones that they've had over and over, and we just don't see it.
Yeah.
And they just kind of make it look like it's not like that. So then there's this other question. Do you think that there's sexism in this? Do you think it's like sexist of people to give these women so much grief and the stigma on how, you know, I mean, they're seen as weirdos to a lot of people. Like, let's just say it. Like, that's how a lot of people see them. People judge them. There's a stigma on it for being like, because I think because like you touched on, they're like, oh, well, you must think it's a real baby and you need help. You need you know, you need therapy, blah, 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 blah. When it's like, no, it's just a hobby.
Yeah.
Is it sexist? Because also like if men had a Lego hobby or car hobby or Star Wars, they don't get any grief for that.
Which like is not wrong. So two things come to mind for me. First of all, I think like when you said role playing, the very first thing that came to mind for me was D&D, which is like a typically male dominated space, right?
Yeah.
And like I think that's a fair criticism, right? That like, especially as D&D has gained more popularity, it's less and less stigmatized, you know, like it still is kind of a thing that people are like, ew, like a bunch of nerds and like weirdos, whatever. But like, I think people are probably much more apt to look the other way or be like, whatever, just let people enjoy things about D&D than they would be about Reborn Dolls. And like, is that because D&D is like a male dominated space and Reborn Dolls is not? But also counterpoint, I think the same level of criticism and judgment gets leveled at men who collect like realistic, like the sex doll thing. Granted, there's like a different use. And so like I think that judgment is a lot more warranted, to be fair. But like there is a lot of that same rhetoric of like, are you mentally ill and you just don't understand that this is not actually a human partner to you? And also like, is this a vehicle of like sexism and misogyny and like objectifying quite literally women and like dehumanizing women, you know, like, so there's like I feel like I could talk myself in or out of either viewpoint for this issue, you know? I'm curious what your thoughts are. It's
impossible to know because it's all women doing it. I feel like if there was guys, like, I mean, you think women get stigma? Can you imagine if a guy came out and had a TikTok account about how he collects Reborn Dolls?
Yeah.
People would probably call him a pedo. People would like seriously think that there was something wrong with him.
That's fair.
Right? Which I'm not saying that there is.
But I mean, also like in our current political climate, like I understand that accusation though.
Right.
You know?
But I mean, like, what if a guy really also like, just like, how is that any different than not letting little boys play with dolls?
True.
And Barbies.
That's a fair point.
You know, like why that seems unfair.
Yeah.
Like I think like,
ultimately
there could
like
be men that have that nourishing side of them that
of course.
That like that want to like take care of something, and if some guy came out and said that, then
and like ultimately too, what people do in the privacy of their own home as a hobby should just be their hobby, right? Like we should be allowed to let people just fucking enjoy things, even if like you wouldn't like it or you wouldn't do it. That doesn't mean it's like harmful though necessarily,
right?
You know, it's like it's a complicated issue. I don't know how I feel about it.
Well, don't worry, because there's more controversy coming your way.
Okay.
So then this one woman was posted a video of her breastfeeding her reborn doll. That caused quite the stir. People were... This is one of those things that I think, if you're going to do that, just maybe don't post it on the internet.
Yeah.
Because, and hear me out, I think the other people in the community were making this point, and I do agree with them, is that because there's already such a stigma and everybody already thinks that they are quote unquote weirdos and mentally ill and stuff, like maybe don't breastfeed the doll, because that probably wouldn't help the reputation, and they're trying to normalize it and make it like have people see it just as a hobby. So maybe don't do that.
That's fair.
Yeah. And then okay, sorry, I just thought too hard about that one.
No,
like,
you're fine.
Thinking about putting a doll, like I used to do that when I was a kid. When I was like a kid, I would like hold the doll up to me and be like, oh, this is like what I learned that mommies do or whatever. So I don't know if it's like trying not to judge, but also like maybe don't post that stuff on the internet. And this goes with that exact same thing, is that then there was another video of somebody who role played out a scene where the baby was came home from the hospital from recovering from a serious illness. I believe it was RSV, that respiratory illness that kills children. And people also were very upset about that because I mean, I can understand why they were upset, obviously. Like maybe I think, I get it. It's kind of like what you were saying, like if you were struggling to get formula and you had a baby that needed it, if you had just gone through something similar and your baby got severely sick, God forbid passed away, or maybe like you were very worried that something bad was going to happen to them, and then you see a video of somebody using that as entertainment. Like, I can see, like, because part of me feels like people are being too sensitive, because I'm like, guys, it's a doll. Like, you know, like, just let people play with their dolls. But then when I think about it that way, about somebody, like, making light and making a game out of things that really happen to people, it's a little, and it's another, I think it's exactly like the breastfeeding. Like, if a tree falls in the forest, does it make a sound? Because if you did that and didn't post it on TikTok, nobody would have known that you role played your doll getting severely ill. What are your thoughts on it?
I don't know. I feel like, okay, so two things. My main concern with the Reborn Doll hobby is like my fear of things tiptoeing into psychosis or delusion, because like, especially for folks who are processing grief, I feel like that could be a real concern, right? But also, like, it's one thing, I think, to just like enjoy collecting a thing that like in a way is a piece of art, right? Like, people put thousands of hours into creating these dolls and, you know, like putting them, like making them just so, right? Like, so, sure, fair enough. But it's, I think, another thing entirely to be like essentially playing dress up out of some of the most traumatic moments of people's lives, you know? And like that also starts to feel a little bit like the Munchausen by proxy thing, which that's not the name for it, by the way. It's called fictitious.
Yeah.
But whatever.
I've heard. Yeah.
For like,
that's what people know it as right now, though, until the name gets changed.
The DSM term is different, but like just for the sake of people recognizing what I'm talking about, like that starts to feel a little bit like we're crossing a line a little bit. And like, I wholeheartedly agree with what you said about how like if I had gone through this traumatic experience with my own child, or was going through this with my own child, and I saw someone like role playing it and like making a game out of this basically, and also like making a video out of this, like making content out of this, I would be mad. Like, I would be really fucking upset, because like that just feels fucking mean. And like, you don't have to, you know? Like, you could just use other, like, you can role play 73 million other things that aren't like disrespectful and like hurtful, you know?
Okay, I might have a hot take.
Okay. Oh no.
Because that I don't have a strong opinion one way or the other, so I'm just curious, because where do we draw the line then? Yeah. Because I know this is getting very philosophical, but okay, say you go to a play, you buy tickets for a play, it was off Broadway.
Sure.
Sounded like a good time. It wasn't a musical, it was a drama.
Yeah.
And in the play, there's a school shooting. Or in the play, somebody gets murdered.
Yeah.
Or in the play, there's DV, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, that's entertainment. That's just like something that some of the most traumatic things that happen to people, but it's fictitious. Yeah. It's not based on a real person, you know, just like it's not it's not a reenactment of the Black Dahlia or something terrible like that, where somebody actually, and it's entertainment. I mean, you could argue it's being made as a game. People are making money off of that, and you go and you sit in there, and then you're suddenly triggered. Are you mad at them for making up a story about somebody who died? Like, I mean, I don't know, maybe I'm not getting where those are different, but like, to me, I'm like, then where do we draw the line? Like, how is that not?
I think for me, the difference would be in intent, because for a lot of people, consuming media that tells a story and helps to make meaning out of traumatic events can be really healing, right? And I think a lot of like common or like mainstream media is sort of serves that purpose, you know? A play or a movie or a book, even if it's fictitious, that's written about a particular moment in time or a type of trauma or whatever, oftentimes is done with the intent of like telling a story and bringing awareness and like giving life or language to a phenomenon that like a particular group of people might have experienced, for the purpose of like uplifting that and like telling that story from this like cathartic healing place, you know? But I think because a lot of the Reborn Doll like role playing is done more so for like the intent of personal satisfaction first and foremost, it feels very different, because it's not like a role play that's being made with the intent of like uplifting a story of a particular person or like telling the story of a particular period of time. It feels more like exploitative than it does like having the intent of like sharing a story. You know what I'm saying? So like, to me, it feels more like like when people tell stories about themselves for the purpose of creating that like shared connection and healing, it's different than someone who's never experienced it telling a story about you and doing it potentially inaccurately and in a way that feels disrespectful and like spectating about your life as if you're an animal in a zoo. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think that would be like the difference for me, because like
I can see that.
I agree. It would push my buttons, you know?
I kind of like, I felt like they weren't really the same, but I like, I was also like I could not place like why they were different, you know?
Well, it's a very like nuanced thing, because I hear what you're saying.
It is very nuanced,
you know?
But I can see that. Yeah, I can understand what you're saying. Something about TikTok just sits different too. Like even if they're not making a dime off of it, it's just like, I think something about TikTok, the way that the intention is to go viral.
Yes.
Like for every video that you post.
Yeah.
So I don't. Yeah,
it feels different. Like I said, I don't want to be like a judgmental asshole of somebody just having their own hobby and living their own life, because that's like none of my business, you know? But I do think
I don't think you're coming off like that at all. I don't think, because you're not talking about the hobby as a whole. You're saying the role playing of a serious illness of a baby on a TikTok.
I feel like there's just like a threshold at which it becomes no longer a private thing that's just about you, and it's now affecting other people.
Yeah.
That like,
you
know, just,
that's fair.
It's a side eye from me.
Do you think that like if that kind of thing's okay to do in private, like if you're role playing that by yourself? I mean, I don't see what's wrong with that, because as long as nobody sees it, it's self-indulgent, but it's not I don't think it's exploitative personally if nobody is.
Fair, but also too, like,
seeing it.
If we normalize problematic behaviors to ourselves in private, does that carry over into the way that we interact with the world, right? Because like if somebody was role playing like abusing a child, or like, I don't know, doing something else inappropriate with a child,
that's true.
That's not okay. Just because you're doing it in the privacy of your own home doesn't mean that it's like a normal or okay thing to do. You know,
that's a good point, actually. Yeah.
So I feel like there is still kind of a threshold there that like at a certain point it's like maybe don't do that.
Maybe you need to look into that. For yourself. Okay. Yeah, I get. Yeah. When you put it that way, that's a good point.
Yeah.
So moving on, unless you had other thoughts about that particular thing.
Please keep going.
This is we'll finish the lighthearted part of the drama, because now there's like a whole thing in the space in their community about, now there's gatekeeping, elitism for the fake versus authentic dolls. So you know how earlier I said that it's like $250 for like a basic model, but it can go anywhere to like $5,000 for like blush, veins, etc., for all the details. So but then of course you can go on Amazon and buy a pretty good dupe of one of these dolls for significantly less. And a lot of people then do that, and then when they post videos of their dolls that are not authentic, not handmade by an artist, basically, then people give them a bunch of crap for that, because they're like, I can tell that doll is fake, blah, 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 blah. But then that's just like goes into a lot of, because then the response from those people, of course, are like, not everybody can afford to drop $3,000 on a doll, but they still want to participate in the hobby. So apparently there's like a lot of that kind of stuff that goes into all this stuff too, is that some people are very against having anything but authentic ones that are handmade by an artist. Like, and then last, there was 2 creators in this space, 2 creators that made these dolls. This one's the funniest one to me. This is this is the definition of drama. Like, actually, this is what real drama is. When we talk about drama, like this is like the fun stuff. They got in a spat because the more experienced creator of the dolls got mad at the less experienced creator, because the way that she was boxing up and packaging her dolls was not correct. So she was getting mad at this less experienced creator because she's like, there needs to be a cuteness to it. It needs to have all of this stuff, or you're just like disrespecting your customers. And they like made like several videos back and forth arguing about it. And finally they came to like, I think they did talk in person, and they finally realized that how stupid this was, and how they were like, oh, you're like actually a really nice person. I just needed to like maybe not try to talk to you through video arguing.
Yeah.
And the more experienced one even ended up buying a doll from the less experienced one. So it was like, there was like, yeah. So that's like the smallest thing ever, but I just thought that was so funny because they mentioned that in the article about how like this stuff is going on even in every community on the internet. It's so funny.
Yeah. There's a TikTok trend actually from somebody who like they made a video saying like, what is the drama in your very niche part of the internet, and that sounds like exactly that, you know, like when crochet or like knitting Facebook groups get mad at each other for like posting the wrong type of needles or yarn or whatever, and you're just like, okay, like go outside, touch some grass, babe.
Exactly.
That is just like not. You know what it reminds me of is that clip from Keeping Up with the Kardashians when Kim loses her diamond earring in the ocean and she's like crying her eyes out about it, and Kourtney's like, Kim, there are people that are dying. Just like fucking relax, man.
Why she could go out and buy another pair of those in a day? Like, what the heck?
She could buy like 500 pairs in a day and not notice.
Yeah,
like,
what the hell?
No, exactly.
She's crying for the cameras.
Honestly, it kind of feels that way. But yeah, it feels like that kind of energy. Like there are people dying, you guys. Like focus in.
My overall take, though, for the most part, I think this community's cute. Like, see, that's one of those things that it's like, I kind of would almost consider buying one just because I think they're so cute. And I do have this weird thing about like, what if like, just say I blew $2,000 on a doll, like just think about that. I don't think I would ever do that because that is just so outrageous to me for something that it might be worth it to some people, but for me, I know I would not. I don't have interest in playing with dolls in particular. I would just want it because I want to know what it's like to feel like I just want to hold one of them. Yeah. It's kind of like that.
Yeah, like a curiosity.
Because I've also seen like on TikTok, on my spooky TikTok videos, this one girl got a monkey that was a very realistic monkey that's like weighted like a monkey, and it's not a real monkey, it's a doll.
No, I know.
Yeah, but it like holds on to you and stuff. It's like a cuddly, it's a little creepy,
stresses
but it's
me
like
out.
Very realistic. And it's kind of a whole thing.
I've seen the ones that look like little avatar babies and stuff too, that are like more of a sci-fi fantasy thing, and like those also kind of give me the creeps a little. I won't lie.
Those creep me out a little bit more. Yeah. It's like a very honestly, I'm surprised those creep you out more than the realistic human ones.
I think they all kind of give me the creeps, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Like no judgment if you like them. It's just that like I think it's like what you were saying about the Uncanny Valley thing. You know,
I don't think anybody in the community like. I think most people in this community understand why it creeps people out. Like I don't think they're judging us back for judging how we think it's creepy. Yeah. I just think they just also want to be like, they don't want to get hate for just like engaging in something for the ones that aren't doing anything harmful.
That's fair.
That's all I have for Reborn Dolls. All right. What do you have for us, Mickey?
Mine is actually pretty short, which I think works out because we had a nuanced conversation about reborns, and mine is not a nuanced issue. Mine is a first world problem that I'm just griping about because I'm fucking annoyed about it. You have Winnie, obviously. You have a dog. You know what dog enrichment is?
I would imagine it's the same as what I've been reading about for rat enrichment, giving them lots of things to do.
Yes.
That target their instincts.
Yes. Yeah. So this is a thing that Aaron and I have struggled with both of our dogs, because we have two dogs, Savannah and Olivia. I'll have Aaron put some pictures up of them because they're adorable. But for those of you who don't know, we live in Arizona. It's the summer here right now, and so it's hot as shit outside. So first of all, there's just like a limited amount of time that dogs can spend out there because it's hot and because it's dangerous.
I heard on the news you guys are going to get you got a heat wave warning.
Yeah.
How hot is it supposed to be?
I don't know. Let me look at the weather app. Hold on, because yesterday was not too bad.
It's been in the 70s here.
Like today, it reached 106. This week, the hottest is
Christ on a cracker.
Yeah. The hottest it's going to get this week is on Sunday, which is 111 degrees where I'm at. And also keep in mind that Tucson is like a couple of degrees cooler than Phoenix, give or take. So like in some places in Phoenix, it's going to get up to like 113, maybe 114, that territory. Like it's just, yeah. So needless to say.
It's been in the 70s up here.
That sounds so nice, Hannah.
I know.
Yeah.
It scares me though, because people die like every year because of this heat wave stuff.
Yes.
Like it is not a joke.
It's
like,
not right. Yeah.
People, yeah. Oh,
so yeah.
sorry. Anyway,
needless to say, the dogs can't really be spending a lot of time outside, which is a bit of a problem because both of our dogs are shelter dogs. When we adopted them, we had no idea what breed they were. They don't like particularly look like any type of dog.
I've seen
Savannah.
How old are they?
Savannah is like 8 and Olivia is like, I think she's turning 4 this year.
Oh, Olivia's young. Okay.
Yeah. So Vanny, our oldest dog, she looks like if somebody took a beagle and just like sized him up, just made her bigger. We thought that she might be part beagle when we first adopted her because we adopted her from the Southern Arizona Beagle Rescue. But as it turns out, that's not true. She's like a lab and pit bull and like other mix. It literally says in her DNA results like super mutt or something. So whatever. She really is food motivated. She really likes doing food puzzles and scavenger hunts and snuffle mats. Like those are all very easy enrichment for her. She loves them. Tires her out, and then she'll be like happy as a little clam, right? We've stimulated her little doggy brain and she's like cool as a cucumber. Olivia, on the other hand, I feel like we probably still would have adopted her if we had known this when we adopted her, but as it turns out, she is like her prominent DNA results are border collie.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
Congratulations to us.
Congratulations, her battery never dies.
Yes. For those of you who don't know, border collies are herding dogs. They're very high energy dogs. They're also wildly intelligent.
They're known as the smartest dogs in the world.
Yes.
They're like often picked number one smartest dog. Oh God, I'm so sorry.
On top of the fact that they're like wicked smart, they're also like very high energy, really difficult to tire out, and they have this like inclination towards like breed typical things like herding fucking sheep. I don't have a fucking farm. I don't have room for my dogs to be chasing sheep. And also, even if I did, it's too fucking hot outside. I can't leave them outside for hours to just like run in circles. Like that's fucking dangerous. So Olivia has like literally, I'm not joking, she's like clinically addicted to playing fetch. She is so obsessed with her ball.
I'm sorry, I keep cutting you off, but like I have known other border collies too, where it's like endless obsession.
Yes.
Like they will bring it to you. You could literally throw it for them 12 hours and they will not get sick of it.
She'll just keep coming back. She actually would like wear her little feet into nubs if I let her, because she will never get tired of playing ball. And like, again, because we live in Arizona, we don't have fucking grass here. We do have turf in our backyard, but it gets hot during the summertime. And so we have pavers in the rest of the yard. And so we can't let her run on the pavers because it like sands down her toenails. And so like it has actually happened before that she like skidded to a halt and like caught the quick of her toenail. And so, yeah. But like also too, the thing, Hannah, completely unfazed. Did not give a single shit. Yeah. She just brought the ball back and set it right in front of him.
Yep.
Like, are we going again? And she has this like very expectant look on her face.
Dogs could be bleeding all over the place, and
like, what's wrong with them?
They don't care.
I was like, hello, you're injured. Like, we're done. We're going inside. Crazy. So I have been trying to find other types of enrichment to tire her out, but also like try to pull her away from playing ball so much, because I've been reading about it. It's actually really not good for your dogs. It can create like resource guarding. It also increases their cortisol levels, and it like creates this negative feedback loop that's like
playing ball with them.
If they're like Olivia is, where they like it too much, then like yes, it can hurt them. If your dog just likes playing fetch and they're like have some kind of self-regulatory system, it can be fine, you know? So I've been trying to find breed appropriate enrichment that's like an alternative to fetch. And so I looked it up, I Googled it, and do you know what I found, Hannah?
Nothing.
No, worse. I found first of all, the number one suggestion was like, do a snuffle mat with them or a licky mat. Like, first of all,
And you're like,
do you think that I fucking Googled the words dog enrichment and I don't fucking know what a licky mat or
No.
a snuffle mat is? Hello?
Yeah.
Like, thanks for that fucking recommendation.
Yeah.
Like, whatever. But also, on top of that, Olivia could give a single fuck less about food. She's not food motivated whatsoever. I literally have to goad her into eating her dinner. Sometimes we have to, if we do like a Kong, like a frozen enrichment toy for their dinner, we have to put it in the microwave, Hannah, so that it will defrost a little bit. And so I think because she thinks it's people food, then she's like, okay, I'll eat it. But she's like,
you're taking it out of the microwave.
Yes. She just cannot be bothered. She will literally look up at me from her dinner bowl like, are you for real?
Winnie does that too. Winnie's like, I don't want this. You gave this to me last night.
Yes. So rude.
What are you doing?
So she doesn't really like those. I did a licky mat with her the other day, and I have these ones. My mom bought them for the girls that are like a little 4-quadrant licky mat. So I put different things on all 4 sections. And I was like, okay, great. Like, if they have a little enrichment snacky snack, I'm just going to sit down.
Yeah.
I'm going to like play some Zelda for a while I'm like watching them still. And Olivia gets done with 2 of the quadrant, like half done with 2 of the quadrants, and then comes and sits on the couch and just like looks right at me. She sticks she sticks her little snout in my face like,
yeah,
are we going outside? And I was like, no, bitch, like go back over there. This happened 5 times, Hannah. I counted. I had to walk her back there, be like, go ahead, good job, great job, Olivia. And then she would like begrudgingly eat the licky mat.
Does she have a digging instinct at all?
No.
Dang it.
No,
because
she doesn't.
when we visit my parents have a designated part in their yard that they'll let Winnie dig.
Yes. Yeah.
And Winnie's a digger. Winnie's a terrier. She's I mean, I think she's like a rat hunting terrier.
Yeah.
And so she'll dig there for hours if you let her. And it is the best exercise of all time.
Yeah.
She likes fetch too, but she'll get sick of fetch.
Yeah.
Because she'll go dig, and it is so enriching because it like stimulates her brain.
Yes.
It's like good, like it takes brain energy, it takes physical energy, and she's so tired, and she'll do it for hours if you let her. It's like the same thing. Like she has that digging instinct, but Olivia doesn't have that.
No, we've tried everything, dude. Because Savannah also likes to rip stuff apart. She really likes snuffling for things, and she likes like tearing stuff up. So when we go to Trader Joe's, I'll save the paper bags, and then any junk mail that we get, I like rub it on me and on Aaron and like on stuff around the house, so there's like different smells, and then I put it in a bag and I just sprinkle like some food or whatever in there. And Vanny has the time of her life, just ripping stuff out of there. And then she rips the bag all up when she's done, and she's so happy about it. It's the cutest thing. Olivia hates it. She's terrified of the paper. She doesn't like it. She doesn't understand why there's food. Yeah. And also she just doesn't give a shit about the food that's in the bottom of the bag. She's like, why are you having me stick my face in here for food that I don't give a fuck about? Like, why would I want this? So
I know you probably thought of all this stuff. I'm just thinking of weird stuff we do with our dogs. We play have you ever played hide and seek?
Yes.
Like it taught her to like go get the toy, and then you hide somewhere when she goes to get it, and then she has to find you.
She's like okay at hide and seek, but
or she won't like that.
Yeah, as soon as she finds you, then like, okay, great, take me outside, like is mostly the thing. So
Winnie thinks that Winnie gets a lot of anxiety when we play that game because she actually thinks I'm gone. But it's so fun because she gets so excited.
That's
when
really
she finds
sweet.
me. I get all excited. I'm like, you found me, and she gets all like.
Olivia is just like so fixated on the ball. That's why I said it like I'm not joking. I think she's actually addicted because like hide and seek and all of that stuff, like it turns into a vehicle to be let out into the backyard. But mostly my frustration is that in the research that I've done for like border collie specific enrichment, literally I pulled up a video on TikTok, Hannah, of someone being like, the best enrichment that you can give your border collie is just free time on the farm. What?
Bitch, what?
Like, I know that lots of people buy border collies obviously to do
for their farm.
Yes, sure. But like I didn't fucking know that she was a border collie when I adopted her. Like I didn't know what I was fucking getting into, and I don't have a farm. So what? I'm fucking up shit creek.
What
then?
about
like The fuck is that advice?
One more suggestion.
Yeah, please.
What if, since I know she's not food motivated, but what if you hide her ball? Okay, so because my parents' golden retriever, he's also very obsessed with his ball. His ball is his favorite thing in the whole world.
Yeah.
And they'll make him sit inside. They'll take like a ball outside and they'll go hide. They'll either throw it or they'll hide it somewhere out in the yard where he can't see where they're putting it. And then he has to go around the yard and smell for it and find it. He loves that game. Do you think she'll do that, or is she just not... That's just not like what she wants?
I feel like for her it would provoke a lot of anxiety, because part of the problem that we have with playing ball is that sometimes when she goes to jump and grab it, the ball will like slip out of her mouth and then she'll like accidentally rocket it over the fence. And so when that happens, she gets super upset.
Really upset.
Yeah, she will pace around the backyard, and even like inside when we bring her in, she's like just like really stressed about like where did it go?
Is it?
Yes. So we have like
her nookie.
At any given time we have like 6 balls in the house in case she rockets one over the fence to give her a replacement. It's like a binky. I'm so serious. We literally joke she won't go pee. Hannah, she won't go pee without it. She literally has to have it in her mouth when she goes pee. If we take it away from her, she just like, she refuses to go to the bathroom until I give it to her, and then she'll go.
You need one of those automatic baseball things.
I feel like that would feed her addiction. Though, no, like that seems counterintuitive.
Well, yeah, but then you could turn that on, and she could do it as long as she wants, and if she wouldn't bother you, because dogs can train themselves to go put the ball back in the machine and then have it shoot back out. Have you seen videos of that? It's so cute.
I've literally considered taking her to do training for agility courses. Or what are those that game? I can't remember what game it is. There's like tournaments that people host for their dogs to play. It's like a ball-based relay race thing.
Oh,
I can't remember what it's fucking called.
But I can
or like the jumping thing where they like
Does she
jump.
like other dogs?
She was a COVID adoption, so she didn't really get socialized in the way that I would have hoped. So her and Savannah are kind of a little duo. That's the other problem that I have, is that I've considered taking her on runs with me.
I was gonna say, what about the dog park?
I hate the dog park. I refuse to take my dogs to the fucking dog park ever. I've met more like poorly trained and aggressive dogs at dog parks than I have anywhere else.
Dog parks are terrible.
Refuse.
I would never take Winnie there. I know. The big dogs, I think, are fine. But yeah, Winnie, I would never, because Winnie would get eaten alive.
Well, and like even the ones that are separated into like big dogs and little dogs, like there's just a lot of people here that like don't. Like they treat the dog park as like checkout time, and so their dog will be like humping on people's dogs or like starting fights and stuff. And I'm just like,
stand that.
Pass.
That's not what the dog park is for.
Yes, but
what about doggy daycare?
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, then I'm out.
I know. Idea. Tell me about it, because she's just really anxious around like all the noise.
I take Woody to daycare every day.
I feel like Savannah would have the time of her fucking life. Savannah loves that shit. When we adopted her, she used to love going to the dog park and stuff before I like was like, fuck the shit. But she loves other dogs. She loves playing. She loves all of the noise and the smells. But Livy is like such a gentle, like a sensitive little bean. She's so I wonder if hide and seek might be good. Maybe we'll like revisit that, but without the ball. I wonder if we like held a handful of like stinky treats. The only treats I've ever gotten her to really like are freeze-dried liver and tiny little fish. They're actually cat treats. People sell them on Amazon as cat treats, but they're like teeny tiny little minnows. And she really liked those when we did dog training with them. So maybe if we hold a handful of liver and hide, and she has to come find us instead of the ball.
Yeah, I would imagine she likes you and Aaron.
Yeah, she loves Aaron
enough, right? Is she attached to you guys? Because you could also, we do this with we've taught all our dogs to do this too. My parents have, where they, I'm sure you and Aaron have names for like, do you call mom and dad?
Yeah.
So like my parents are mama and papa to the dogs. Yes. And so they'll play this game called Get Mama, Get Papa. And they'll like go on separate ends of like a field or something. Yeah. And then they'll say, okay, go get mama. And then the dog, and then the other person calls the dog, and they'll have to run. And then they run to go get papa. And then they run from either side. I know you can't do that in the heat, but like you could do it in your house. Yeah. Or, I don't know.
Yeah. I wonder if we did hide and seek or something with treats, if that would help.
Yeah, with something like that, because because I'm so sorry. Yeah, that's all my suggestions.
No, yeah, that's just my gripe today, though, is like looking up alternative advice for dog enrichment is just like all useless for Olivia specifically. And I'm just like, I don't know how to fucking help you, man. Like, just be addicted less to your ball. God damn it.
Would you like advice from our subscribers if anybody has specifically border collie?
Yes, if anybody has border like high energy border collie or like
of people that don't have farms.
Yes, or like honestly, even people who have non-food motivated dogs and you live in Arizona or a hot place, like what the fuck are you doing? How are you enriching your dogs in this trying time? Because
you feel
it's a
bad.
Struggle.
You feel guilty when your dog's just staring at you all day.
I know. Well, and I know for Olivia, especially because Savannah she's mostly lab. So she loves food, but also she loves a good nap, man. Like I can give her a licky mat.
She's also older.
Yeah. And so she just wants to hang out. You know, she wants to be left to her own fucking devices. Like, don't touch me. Don't pet me. Just leave me alone, you know? But I can see in Olivia's poor little eyes, she's just like, I'm so bored. Like, why is your expectation that I would just lay in the living room all day? You know, like
Winnie does that to me too, and it's really sad.
Yeah. So
do you guys do bully sticks?
No. They're not allowed to have
Winnie just
chew toys.
Winnie stopped walking away from me and turned around and looked at me when I said that.
No, they're not allowed to have chew toys just because I am like anal retentive and very anxious about them choking or like hurting themselves. So they can have like
do you know what bully sticks are though?
The like big long, the big ones. Yeah.
Do you know what they're made out of though?
I mean, a lot of them are made out of rawhide. No. Which is also like not my fave.
That's why bully sticks are the best. Okay, hear me out on bully sticks. Okay, bully sticks are the only ingredient it will say on the bag is beef pizzle. I don't know if you know what that is, but it's a beef penis. But it doesn't look like that. It looks like a stick. It looks like a chew. And it's not rawhide. Yeah. The reason they're so great is because dogs love them, but they dissolve. They don't break off in pieces.
Okay.
So even if Winnie has swallowed like the little ends, but I usually take them away from her before she gets to the end.
Yeah.
If she has a little piece left she's working on, I take it away at that point. But if sometimes she goes faster than I'm able, and she has swallowed those. Tonka has swallowed those several times, and nothing ever. We've never had an issue because it dissolves in their stomach. Then it doesn't. It's not sharp. It dissolves. You should still watch them and try to take it away before they get to the end. But it's slowly like they chew it down and it dissolves. There's no bony pieces that come off and break off. So
I'm curious if Olivia would care. Like,
I don't know.
It's a food thing. I know Savannah would probably love that.
Food. Savannah would probably really love it. Yeah. But I don't know if, but Tonka, I mean, Tonka's a golden retriever, so he's really food motivated. So that's a terrible example. But if I can
get Olivia to focus on something long enough, or like really put her back into it, then like, because she's so funny, she like complains about doing little licky mats and stuff, you know, like she walks away or will look up at me like, but then at the end of it, like I can tell, I'm like, you're exhausted, bitch, take a nap. Like she will have these like big tired eyes and like, you know, just look like she's exhausted. So I know that she does benefit from that. It's just like such an effort to get her to do it. So if anybody has advice about what you're doing for your working breed dog, please fucking let me know. Because I need help.
They need jobs and
that's
the problem, is that those dogs need a job. They need a job. And when that works out great on a farm, because they always have a job to do.
Exactly.
But like can't always control the breed of dog we get. No.
She also doesn't look anything like a border collie. She looks like a little rat. She's the most adorable
I never would have
weirdo.
guessed that she was border collie, but I bet everything made a lot more sense once you found that out.
Yes. Yeah. So give me your advice, everybody. Thanks in advance.
Border collie advice and spider advice.
Yes. Leave us advice about our animals in the comments. Thanks, everybody.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for being here. We will see you next week.
Yep. For episode 12.
12.
Yay. See you next week.
Okay. All right. Bye, everybody. Bye.